Let's dive into a geopolitical story that sounds like it was ripped straight from a Hollywood script. But here's the thing, it's a terrifyingly real possibility. We're talking about a situation where the world's most powerful military alliance isn't threatened by some outside enemy, but by its own leader. It's a real powder keg.
Okay, and this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? It gets right to the heart of the whole issue. When one country uses national security as a reason to take over its neighbor, the world calls it an invasion. But when another world power does the exact same thing, well, suddenly the language changes. Now it's just a deal. This double standard right here is what's fueling this entire crisis.
And boom, here's the spark that lit the fuse, January 17th, 2026. Just think about that. The United States didn't go after an enemy. It went after 8 of its closest friends, allies that it's literally sworn to protect. This wasn't some minor disagreement. This was economic warfare, and it sent absolute shockwaves across the globe.
So here's how we're going to break this whole thing down. First, we'll look at the shocking demand itself. Then we'll try to solve the Greenland puzzle. Why is this island so important? After that, we'll see how this is pushing the entire NATO alliance to the brink. And finally, we'll talk about the incredibly dangerous precedent this sets for everyone.
All right, first up, the demand. This is the moment where the leader of the pack, the one meant to protect everyone, turns on its own and starts using its economic power like a weapon.
The source material uses this analogy, and it's just perfect, because it makes this whole high-level geopolitical mess feel real. It's not just politics, it's basically bullying on a global scale. Imagine being told that your home, your property, just doesn't matter because someone bigger and more powerful wants it, and they're not afraid to hurt you to get it.
And make no mistake, this wasn't just some vague threat. No, this was a very clear, escalating ultimatum. Step 1, a 10% tariff to punish allies for acting like allies and showing support for Denmark. Step 2 was the real hammer, a threatened 25% tariff. The message was simple. Sell us Greenland, or we will crush your economy.
Okay, so that brings us to the biggest question of all. Why? Why this insane alliance-breaking obsession with Greenland? Let's peel back the layers here, because the official story, well, it doesn't quite add up.
This is it, the multi-trillion-dollar question. Is this really about national security, like they claim, or is there something much, much bigger hiding just under all that ice?
So you've got the official story, and then you've got what's really going on. The official line is this fancy-sounding 175 billion Golden Dome missile defense system. It sounds important, right? The only problem is, the argument completely falls apart when you remember the US has had full military access to Greenland since 1951. So analysts are saying what we're really seeing is a classic political smokescreen, create a huge crisis overseas to distract from problems back home. But a distraction is only part of the story. The first real prize is all about strategy. As the Arctic ice melts, a brand new shipping lane is opening up, the Polar Silk Road. This thing is a total game changer for global trade, and whoever controls Greenland basically owns the toll booth on this new global superhighway. And here it is, the second and maybe even bigger prize. We're talking trillions of dollars in rare earth minerals just sitting there under the ice. These aren't just any rocks. They are literally the lifeblood of our entire modern world. They're in the phone in your pocket, in electric cars, and in F-35 fighter jets. In the 21st century, controlling these minerals is just like controlling all the oil in the 20th. It's everything. So you can see, with trillions of dollars and the future of global trade on the table, we are way beyond a simple argument over an island. This has become a full-blown crisis for the most successful military alliance in human history.
To really get how huge this is, we gotta just take a quick step back in time. NATO was literally born from the ashes of World War II to protect a shattered Europe. For more than 75 years, its one job was to stand against outside threats. But fast forward to 2026, and the biggest threat isn't on the outside looking in, it's coming from inside the house. This right here, this is the beating heart of NATO. Article 5. It's a simple, powerful promise. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. This one sentence has been the foundation of peace in Europe for generations.
And this is the impossible, gut-wrenching question that's tearing NATO apart. What are countries like Germany or the UK supposed to do when the protector, the United States, becomes the predator? When it starts threatening another member, Denmark? I mean, the rules say they should defend Denmark, But how can you possibly fight the very country that guarantees your security? It's a paradox that could literally break the entire alliance. So you might be thinking, okay, this is a mess for Europe, but why does this one island matter to the rest of us? Well, in this last part, we're going to connect the dots. Because this standoff doesn't just threaten NATO, it threatens the way the whole world works.
It's all about the domino effect. If the world just shrugs and accepts that a big country can take land from a smaller one just by saying the magic words national security, then it's giving a green light to every other major power out there. Suddenly, China has a brand new American-made excuse for its ambitions. So does Russia. The playbook has been rewritten.
And this quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. This isn't just about Greenland anymore. It's a license. It's a signal to every autocrat on the planet that the old rules don't apply, that borders are just lines on a map, waiting to be redrawn by force.
And so we end with this really chilling question. Is this it? Is this the moment we go back to the rule of the jungle, where might makes right and the strong do what they want while the weak suffer what they must? Because this fight over a giant block of ice and rock, it's not really about the island at all. It's a battle for the very soul of the international order.